So, as myself and many people have stated, cuts are coming at AT&T, and it's not looking too good for DC Comics, and it's not looking too good for AT&T, and we're going to go over this. So, prepare yourselves, because cuts are coming. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So, we're going back to an article that I talked about previously, because I want to take a look at something that's very vital in this article. So, if you remember, back on March 4th, is AT&T getting ready to end DC Comics? Now, this article was a very big one, stating the issues that have been going on with AT&T, and this article even goes into talking about what they earn off of comics. Big thing about AT&T is they're creating HBO Max. That's a very big thing for them. They're putting all of their chips and they're betting them on HBO Max. What this also proves is that they don't care about comics at all. I mean, they're about to even sell off Simon & Schuster. They're trying to find somebody who will even buy their novels, because they even stated they don't get as much out of that as they would visual media. Visual media is what's important to them now. So comic books, novels, they don't matter to AT&T and Warner Media. They don't. They see what's most important to them is the visual media, like TV shows and movies. That's what's important to them. It's not so much books or comic books anymore. That's not what's important to them. So we're going to get into that. How much does DC Comics matter to AT&T? AT&T doesn't disclose DC Comics revenue separately. Instead, it's included in the Warner Media segment, which also includes Turner Cable Networks, HBO, and Warner Bros. DC Entertainment and DC Films are subsidiaries of Warner, and DC Comics become a subsidiary of DC Entertainment in late 2009. Warner Bros. Generated $14.4 billion in revenue, or 43% of Warner Media's revenue and 8% of AT&T total revenue last year. Within that total, Warner's Games and Other segment, which includes DC Comics, video games, and other products, but excludes its TV and film properties, generated $2 billion in revenue. Based on the aforementioned estimate of $1.1 billion in the industry sales in 2018, the industry's flat growth over the past 5 years, and Diamond Publishing's report that DC controlled 29% of the comic book market in 2019, we can estimate that DC's publishing unit generated about $300 million in revenue last year. Now here's where it gets important. That accounts to just 0.2% of AT&T's annual revenue. So it doesn't really matter if the company keeps or sells the business. Keeping a publishing unit would arguably make more sense, since it would allow AT&T to maintain firm control over the characters in print, TV, and film. It's not important to them. And with them only making 0.2%, yeah, that's basically nothing. $300 million, I mean, that sounds like a lot, but realistically, that's not anything. What they may do is they may either A, just completely shut down DC entirely, while they still license the characters and have them in films and shows, or B, they'll still keep DC around, but they'll just do it digitally, which digital copies, they're not really as popular as physical copies, in which digital copies are only like worth 99 cents. So that's not going to bring them much revenue at all. And, that's the big thing. DC could be on the chopping block. And, they tried to already get rid of DC before, so it's a possibility. But if you look at what AT&T is facing, now, these are articles, multiple articles, just over the past couple of days. AT&T, not backing off $6 billion, cost-cutting initiative. AT&T's massive TV losses continue as another 900,000 customers flee. I mean, you think that's bad? This is where it gets worse for AT&T yet again. Another article right here. AT&T's cord-cutting problem is accelerating, and the worst may yet to come. I mean, this is sounding like we're hearing the same thing over and over again, am I right? I mean, this isn't looking too good. And then, of course, AT&T misses Q1 revenue target, citing the current issue, and declines at Warner Media and pay TV unit. Now, here's the thing. They didn't even meet their last quarter from last year. They didn't even meet that either. And if you remember last year, which multiple people, myself included, have talked about, back in March, wasn't even recorded. Rooster Teeth got a lot of people cut. And then, of course, back in September, a lot of people cut at Rooster Teeth. They've been cutting all around to try to shave off to save on money. And, last year was not a good year for Warner Media and AT&T. And that goes the same for comic books, because the comic book industry has been collapsing, which we've been talking a lot about that. And then, of course, Warner Media ratchets up layoffs across HBO, Turner, and Warner Bros. I mean, this is the thing. It has been just cutting and cutting and cutting. That's all it's been for them. It's just cutting more. And here's the thing. Warner Media rethinking theatrical model. AT&T COO John Stankey doesn't expect snapback recovery by exhibitors. It's getting worse. It's getting worse and worse. And, as I've been saying, as many people have been saying, we've all been saying to people, cuts are coming. And guess what? John Stankey has now been promoted to CEO of AT&T. What does that mean? Well, with the previous CEO, he was very tight on money. And now this one, John Stankey, he's very tight on money too. So prepare for things to get cut. Get ready for it. So we're going to look a little bit at this. John Stankey has been promoted to CEO of AT&T, succeeding Randall Stevenson in the role as of July 1st. Stankey is a 35-year AT&T executive who was named Chief Operating Officer last September. Stankey's promotion was announced Friday morning as part of AT&T's annual shareholders meeting in Dallas. And Stevenson said he would remain in the executive chairman role through January 2021. AT&T has already committed to separating the roles of chairman and CEO after the end of September's tenure. AT&T said the board would eject an independent director later this year to succeed Stevenson as board chairman. And the thing is that when you look at AT&T, remember, last year they were recorded, and this is before it got worse, that they were $170 billion in debt. That, you want to talk about debt, that is ridiculous. They were the highest company with debt in America. Insane. They were in even more debt than Disney. So to see this, it's not looking any better for AT&T. It looks like they're going to keep cutting and cutting and cutting. They're going to start rolling in companies together. I mean, that's what it's looking more and more like. I mean, I have some insiders that have told me about some things regarding Rooster Teeth, for example, and how Rooster Teeth, basically, their time is numbered until they are to be rolled into Cartoon Network's animation division, which will probably be working for HBO Max, because they're putting all of their bets on it. But the point here is that when you look at this, Warner Media is what's delivering the most money. Warner Bros., that is giving the most money to AT&T. And thing is, this was before the big issue, even though comic book industry has been declining. But the thing of it is, this is before the big collapse during the issue that's going on now. Thing is, if things do go back to normal, with the comic book industry, it's going to be smaller than it was. And I don't know if we're going to see them last. I don't know if we're going to see DC last, realistically, at this point. It's not looking good at all. And, here's the thing. With HBO Max, with this being everything, as I've stated, everything that they are putting all their gambling chips on, it doesn't look too good for what the future has in store for something like DC Comics. Because, they can still have the characters, license them, and have films and whatnot, and shows with them. Thing is, when it comes to comic book stores shutting down and everything of that sort, I don't know what there's going to be left. I don't see much hope for that future. It's sad to say. I mean, I wanted to bring up a bit of comic book news here as well, besides DC. New York's Forbidden Planet rising money to stay open. So they're trying to maintain a store surviving, which, it would be good to see that. I mean, at least they're trying to raise money to keep themselves afloat. And, during this time, it's already a shame enough as it is, because we've been seeing, even before this issue's been going on, stores have been closing down. And, now they're trying to do what they can during this hard time to keep themselves alive. New York City's Forbidden Planet is, like many direct market comic book retailers around the country, closed due to the issue that's going on. But with expenses mounting and revenue essentially frozen, the store is turning to GoFundMe to raise the money to stay open for business. Since the beginning of the current crisis, myself and others have worked from home to help maintain the store's business and customer relationships and organize a way to come back from all of this. Yeah, and that's a real big problem. It really is for these stores in this time. Reads the campaign information posted by General Manager Jeff Ayers. The sad truth of the matter is that nothing will be the same for some time, but we need to assure that FPNYC is in a position to reopen when the time comes. To do that, we are humbly asking for your assistance in keeping FPNYC on its feet. And that's all that they can really do. I mean, that's all that these stores at this point can ask for, is that they get help from someone else, get help from the fans or whoever can just give to them in this time. I mean, this is real serious. Comic book stores are on the brink of extinction, and this is not helping them. And with no comics coming in, and with them having books that don't sell, well, they can't pay the rent, therefore, this then shuts them down. And this is the problem that is going on with them. It's very sad to see this as we continue to see more stores, get shut down over these issues. And then, of course, you have, what's going on with the comic book industry collapsing. It's not making it any easier. And so with that, it's just destroying these comic book stores. And it's sad. I mean, it really is. It's just sad to see them falling apart. And, that's the thing. Like I said, if DC, for one, even makes it out of this, well, that's going to be lucky. But two, if, things in terms of comics, if they even go back to being normal, which I think the market will just get smaller because of this issue, then, you're not going to see very many stores be open. In fact, you'll just see more closed down because they probably won't have as much attendance. It's very sad to see, but big thing is, expect cuts from AT&T because they're coming, and you're going to see a lot of hits coming in soon. It's about to get real heavy for AT&T and comic book store owners. It's very sad for them. But I did want to end things on a good note, is that when it comes to, comics, or well, in this case, manga. Attack on Titan, Parasite, Alita, Fairy Tail, more manga added to Nintendo Switch app. So Nintendo Switch actually has an app where you can read manga, and I think it's pretty cool that they are actually adding this stuff to the Nintendo Switch app. I mean, I actually find this to be really cool they're doing that. You can now read many of the world's top manga on your Nintendo Switch using InkyPen and all-you-can-read comic subscription service. InkyPen has joined forces with Kodansha USA Publishing, purveyors of some of the world's most recognized manga properties, to bring all-you-can-read manga to its subscription catalog, retailing at $7.99 per month. Kodansha USA Publishing houses world-famous manga titles such as Attack on Titan, Parasite, Battle, Angel Alita, Fairy Tail, and much, much more, all of which are available immediately on InkyPen with new releases to be added regularly. So this is pretty cool. I think that this is an awesome thing that they're doing for Nintendo Switch to have that on there. And to see some really big titles such as these, I think it's awesome. That's the thing. I actually have a Nintendo Switch, so, for me, that's pretty exciting to be able to do stuff like that. I mean, you already have the, Shonen Jump app, though, which is like, what, $2 a month, which I have that, and I love it. It's got every single last manga from their entire library, and you also get the newest releases as well. So, I mean, I think it's cool to have outlets to be able to get manga out there. I mean, yeah, this is pretty big for $7.99 a month, but I just thought it'd be something kind of cool to share with everybody that they were doing this on the Nintendo Switch app. So if you're interested in manga and, you have a Switch, you can always read it there. I mean, preferably I go with the Shonen Jump app because, it's, like I said, just like $2 a month for everything that they've ever had in their library. But still, I thought this was just a cool little thing to let people know about, if in case any of you are interested out there in that. But looking at everything, AT&T, get ready. Cuts are coming. They're coming. And let me know. Are you interested in the app, by the way, for Nintendo Switch for Manga? Let me know if you are interested in that. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and make sure you were still subscribed, because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels, so make sure you were still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like if you enjoyed, and also be sure to share this video on social media, spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on the newest video releases, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.